So, what was the biggest tech story of 2025? If you think it was some new gadget or a big, flashy keynote, you'd be wrong. The real story was quieter, more personal. It was written one search at a time by all of us. And right now, we're going to decode those digital footprints to get to the real story of our relationship with technology.
Every single search we make is a signal. It's a question, a problem, a hope, maybe even a fear. And when you put all those signals from 2025 together, you get a really clear picture. We are no longer just sitting back and consuming technology. Nope. We're becoming critical, savvy users. And believe me, that shift is changing everything.
All right, let's start with the one device that's still pretty much at the center of our digital lives, the smartphone. For years and years, the conversation was all driven by hype. But in 2025, the questions we started asking, they completely changed. The focus just swiveled from, hey, what's new, to a much tougher question. Yeah, but is it worth it?
Suddenly, marketing claims just weren't cutting it anymore. Our searches got super specific, drilling down into real-world stuff. We stopped asking about megapixels and started asking, can this thing actually handle the low light at a concert or take a clear picture of my city at night?
Oh, and this is a huge one. I mean, who cares how thin a phone is if it's dead by 3 o'clock in the afternoon? We started demanding performance that fits our actual lives. Lives filled with GPS, video calls, and just being connected all the time. And here it is. This is the question that really brings it all home. It's the ultimate reality check. We've moved way past treating phones like shiny new toys. Now we see them as investments, and we're carefully weighing the cost against actual, tangible benefits. So the takeaway here is crystal clear. Our whole mindset has matured. The smartphone isn't a luxury item anymore, it's an essential tool. The focus has completely shifted from hype to value, from being the first to have it to making it last. And that shift really sets the stage for everything that happened next. Okay, now let's talk about the force that truly defined 2025, artificial intelligence. I mean, this was the year AI basically escaped the lab and landed right in the middle of our daily lives, our schools, our offices, our creative projects, and our search history shows just how profoundly it shook everything up. But here's where it gets really interesting. Our curiosity about AI wasn't just one thing. As soon as we started to really engage with it, our searches split and started heading down two very different but equally important paths. On one hand, you had the practical path. We immediately started looking for ways to use AI as a tool to get better and faster, to study, to code, to just work more efficiently. But at the exact same time, this much deeper philosophical path emerged. We started asking about our jobs, about what's true anymore, and about our own place in a world filled with these intelligent machines.
And this is a really key difference from other tech waves we've seen. With AI, the ethical alarm bells started ringing for the general public almost immediately. Searches for things like algorithmic bias, data privacy, and misinformation just exploded. We weren't just adopting this new tech, we were putting it under a microscope from day one.
So this brings us to the emotional heart of our 2025 tech story. Because behind all of those practical and philosophical questions was this really complex mix of human feelings, a powerful blend of total fascination with the new and a deep-seated fear of the unknown. Just look at this. Our fascination with what AI could do was incredibly high. We were excited about its potential to create, to solve huge problems, to help us out. But our fear was right there with it, almost equal in intensity. It was this tension, this tug-of-war between fascination and fear that really defined our experience with AI in 2025. And that fear wasn't some abstract idea. It was personal. We saw teachers, journalists, artists, and so many other people starting to search about job displacement and the future of human creativity. For the first time on a massive scale, we weren't just asking what technology could give us, but what it might take away. But out of all that anxiety, a really powerful counter-trend started to bubble up, the search for practical AI. Faced with constant information overload and digital noise, we started looking for AI that could help us get our focus back. Technology that actually served us, not the other way around. This wasn't about finding more entertainment, it was about finding some sanity. We started searching for AI that could act like a personal shield, something to summarize long articles, automate boring tasks, and filter out all the noise. We were actively using AI to try and take back control of our most precious resource,
our attention.
So, when you put all of this together, our smarter view on hardware, our two-sided approach to AI, and our search for focus, it points to something much bigger. In 2025, our collective searches basically put technology itself on trial. We started demanding answers on fairness, on access, and on truth.
The first charge was inequality. While all the headlines were focused on the most cutting-edge, expensive stuff, a huge majority of searches, especially in developing regions, were about access. People were looking for affordable devices and free AI tools. It's a powerful reminder that innovation doesn't mean much if it doesn't include everyone.
And the second charge, which was just as serious, was a fundamental crisis of trust. As AI-generated content became more and more common, the line between what was real and what was fake started to get really blurry, and we responded by trying to find ways to get to the truth.
And this kicked off a whole new era of digital literacy. We started asking these tough, really sophisticated questions. We weren't just users anymore. We were becoming investigators, demanding to know how these powerful systems work, who built them, and how they can be held accountable.
So what's the final verdict from this trial? Well, our searches make it pretty clear. We've fundamentally changed. We've gone from being passive consumers to being active participants who are constantly questioning, evaluating, and shaping technology's role in our lives. Think about it. In a year defined by artificial intelligence and ever smarter devices, it turns out that our own growing awareness, our critical thinking, and our demand for a more human-centered technology, that just might be the most powerful breakthrough of all. And that's a story worth searching for.